Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Hello there, good evening and a warm welcome to the 9 p.m. news of the most prestigious channel in Sri Lanka, bringing you the stories from across the globe and here at home. I am Sonal Paranavithana.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Sharifa Tahir. Let's take a look at the headlines.
Israel says it will continue attacks on nuclear installations in Iran. Every step has been taken to ensure the safety of Sri Lankans in Israel, says Minister Vijitha Herath. It has been confirmed that antibody vaccines in question contain bacteria and salt harmful to the human body. Sri Lanka Customs will be able to surpass the income target for this year. Prime Minister emphasizes the necessity of innovations to escape the economic crisis and the medium income trap. NPP secures power in majority of local government institutions.
We move on to those and other stories in detail. An Israeli hospital has been damaged in Iranian missile strikes. The Israeli military says it will continue to strike Iran's nuclear facilities.
Meanwhile, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism of Sri Lanka has announced that steps have been taken to establish the Sri Lankan embassy in Tehran in a temporary location in light of the current conflict situation. An Iranian missile attack has reportedly hit the Soroka hospital in the southern Israeli city of Beersheba. Israeli authorities say the hospital has been severely damaged in the attack. Emergency services said 65 people were injured in Iranian airstrikes in several areas. Iran says its intended target was a military base near the Soroka hospital and that the hospital was not targeted. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu warns that Iran will have to pay for these attacks. The Israeli ministry says it has targeted Iran's nuclear facilities. The military said it struck Iran's massive Arak water reactor, which is inactive, as well as the Natanz uranium enrichment plant. US President Donald Trump says he has approved plans to attack Iran, but has not made a final decision on whether to strike or not. Iran's supreme leader, Ayatollah Ali Khamenei, has warned that the United States will face irreversible damage if it intervenes in the crisis between Israel and Iran. The Ministry of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism of Sri Lanka informs the public that in view of the current conflict situation in Iran, the Sri Lankan embassy in Tehran has been temporarily relocated to the address shown below. The ministry also requests that to join with the embassy through the information provided for any Sri Lankan national who is in need of assistance to exit Iran.
Lady who came from the Anuradhapura as a caregiver injured due to the recent attack came from the Iran at the Siba hospital, southern part of the Tel Aviv city. Due to the attack, the building collapsed and the patient and the people who came to the hospital injured. The number of people admitted to other hospitals. The lady herself informed us is a little bit okay, and we, after getting information from the administrative officers of the health department of that hospital, now she is in the back to her home and she is taking the treatment at the home. The embassy staff would like to go and see her this afternoon. Due to this missile attack, it is not easy to go around 60 kilometers from here. Therefore, we would like to go this afternoon to see her, and if there is any additional medicine precaution if we want to get for her, we would like to facilitate accordingly.
Well, continuing on the same note, and I think the globe is talking about this. This has become a global concern as well. So we have senior journalist Mr. Prasad Dodangodage joining us today to give us a better idea of the situation. And welcome to the newsroom.
Thank you. Yes, good evening.
And Mr. Prasad, if you may also explain, it's been a week since this situation came about, that is between Iran and Israel. So if you could just take us through the current situation right now.
Yes, Sharifa, as you mentioned very correctly, the current war between Iran and Israel has just passed the mark of 7 days. Last week, exactly on last Friday early hours, Israel launched its first air attack on Iran, targeting 6 places in Iran, including capital Tehran. During their first attack, they made a very big breakthrough by dismantling all the Iranian air defense systems. It was confirmed by independent sources, as well as it was confirmed that the lack of air defense systems in Iran was visible, as 2 days later US as well as Israel declared that they have completely controlled the skies over Iran. Then the second milestone, or the second victory, the claim by Israel was they targeted and eliminated number of top level military commanders of the Iranian armed forces, including the most prominent revolutionary guards. So that's the second victory they claimed, according to Israel. Now this whole war, or the whole conflict, now heading towards a very dangerous escalation. Sharifa, now we could see day by day both parties are attacking each other with much vigor, right? The power or the intensity of these attacks are growing day by day. For example, today Israel experienced the worst day of this war, because according to Israel hospital sources, as well as the reports released by Israel's health ministry, 241 people were injured within 24 hours due to the missile strikes conducted by Iran. These missile strikes, Iran was firing missiles throughout the week. So according to Israel estimates, Iran fired more than 450 ballistic missiles towards Israel. So according to military reports, there is an estimate Iran has more than 2,000 up to 2,000 to 2,500 ballistic missiles. So if those weapon consignments are intact, because now Israel is saying that they have attacked launching pads of ballistic missiles that in various places in Iran. However, Iran is still capable of firing missiles toward Israel, and there is a special today, because for the first time Iran fired its most sophisticated Fatah 2 missile, for I think several missiles to several places in Israel. One place was the hospital that we saw in our previous news item, that injured more than 85 people, including one Sri Lankan lady, as our ambassador explained. So at the same time, Israel also confirmed that today Iran used several missiles that had number of multiple warheads. So it's very difficult to intercept by missile defense systems the ballistic missiles which have multiple warheads, according to experts, military experts. So at the same time, there are reports that describing about the nature of the Fatah 2 missile today Iran used. That missile can travel with a speed of Mach 15, that means it's very difficult to intercept by very advanced. I think Israel has the most advanced missile defense systems in the world, because they have to deactivate or eliminate ballistic missiles. They have Arrow 2 and Arrow 3 systems. Then they have Patriot systems provided by United States. Then they have THAAD, covered by THAAD missile protection system. Then in much lower altitudes they have David Sling system, and for the lowest altitude they have to counter rockets, they have that Iron Dome system. So Israel is totally defended with very advanced and sophisticated missile defense system. But when we consider the damages throughout the Israel with this, within this week, we could understand, even though the country which has the most sophisticated missile defense system is not secured in face of this type of barrage of missile attacks. So as I mentioned earlier, Sharifa, this whole conflict is moving into a very dangerous situation, and it's dragging all of us into a very dangerous position.
Since you also spoke about US while explaining about the current situation between Israel and Iran, there's also a speculation on the US involvement. So can you please elaborate on that?
Yes,
as well?
that speculation, the reason for that speculation was the stance of US President Donald Trump, because it was, it was changing or moving time to time into different positions. For example, Donald Trump earlier, just before this crisis, just before this war started, he played the role of negotiator, because he invited Iran for nuclear discussions. Then Israel attacked Iran, then Iran withdrew from those talks. Then Israel was threatening to kill Iranian leader, supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei. I think on last Monday or Tuesday, Donald Trump rejected that idea. He expressed his opposition to such move. Then what happened? Donald Trump, in the middle of the week, he moved towards more war footing, because he said that along with Israel, US is ready to counter this issue, to end this issue by countering Iranian threats. And again today he gave more suspicion, because he made some statements saying he might propose attack, or he might not, right? So the Donald Trump's stance was moving, point to point. However, we could see the preparation by US military in the Middle East region, and their military build-up is now getting more and more strong. For example, we saw moving of US strike group USS Nimitz, the aircraft carrier and strike group, now moving towards Middle East region through the Asian waters. Then they have number of aircrafts, attack aircrafts standby in the whole region, and according to some reports, there's a fleet of B-2 bombers are ready in Diego Garcia, because only B-2 bombers can ultimately use the proper weapons to destroy the heaviest bunker buster bombs that could destroy the underground nuclear facilities in Iran. So ultimately there's a very high speculation, especially after today's missile attack by Iran. There could be a move towards war, from the United States in the coming days, because Donald Trump, at last he mentioned the coming week is very decisive. However, we could see the coming week, not the coming week, coming days are very decisive, because he could make any time he could make move, because he has already proposed the attack. Only the final go ahead must be given.
Exactly, and as you did mention, I think his ex-post was also kind of shifting from, one thing to another, which you did just very correctly mention. So since we spoke about the speculation of the US involvement, let's also speak about the impact, because the whole world is discussing this topic. So there's definitely a global impact and an impact in our tiny island as well. So if you could just explain that to us.
When we talk about impact, mainly the world is discussing the economic impact, because this region is the energy hub of the world. Still, it's the energy hub of the world. Although we have number of other petroleum producers, the 30% of the world petroleum, the 30% of the whole petroleum exports are coming out from this region, and throughout this through this Hormuz Strait. Therefore, if there is further escalation of this issue, this war, we could imagine that Iran could move towards blocking Hormuz Strait and disrupting the oil supply from the Middle East. So that could be the main concern at the moment. If this region become more and more insecure, now in our next item we are going to see the parliamentary debate took place in our parliament, and in that debate also discuss about the fate of Sri Lankan expected workers in this region, especially in Israel. So the impact is, at the moment we don't see a kind of heavy impact. However, the threat is there. There is a threat, the huge threat or the vast threat is looming to the whole world due to this crisis.
Thank you very much, Mr. Prasad Dodangodege, for enlightening us on this topic as well, which is definitely a global concern. Thank you so much once again for joining us. And we continue with more stories. Minister of Foreign Affairs Vijitha Herath says that every possible measures have been taken for the safety of Sri Lankans living in Israel. In case of emergency, steps will be taken to bring them back to Sri Lanka. He made these remarks joining the parliamentary debate today. Minister Vijitha Herath said that the situation in Iran is such that it resembles being among just 30 or so people, whereas in Israel there are around 20,000 Sri Lankan workers. All ports, including those for diesel and aviation, are currently closed and no aircraft are operating internally. The Sri Lankan embassy is actively intervening in the situation. In recent days, 4 Sri Lankans were injured. 3 of them sustained minor injuries, while 1 person was seriously hurt when a piece of shrapnel struck his leg.
Former chairman of the Election Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, says that the Western Provincial Local Government Commissioner cannot be accused for holding the mayoral voting of the Colombo Municipal Council as a secret ballot. She has done it in pursuant with the powers vested with her. Former chairman of the Election Commission, Mahinda Deshapriya, said that when elections are held for local government bodies, if a single party does not secure more than 50% of the seats, the Provincial Commissioner of Local Government convenes the inaugural meeting of the council. During this meeting, the chairman or mayor and their deputies are elected. He also said that it is not appropriate to blame the commissioner for the way the selection was conducted. He pointed out that even in Parliament, the Speaker is elected through a secret ballot. Similarly, the interim president also chosen through a secret vote. He emphasized that members cast their votes based on their opinions and beliefs. Whether the election should be conducted through an open or secret ballot is a matter determined by the legislature. Executive Director, Institute of Democratic Reforms and Election Studies, Manjula Gajanayaka said that the process of electing members to all local government institutions is currently underway. He expressed deep concern as an election observer regarding the various online attacks being directed at officials involved in this process. In particular, he noted that the Western Province Local Government Commissioner is being subjected to numerous accusations on social media. He emphasized that these commissioners have the authority to carry out their duties using the powers vested with them. That authority is granted because they serve as presiding officials.
A range of new projects for this year have been launched under the Clean Sri Lanka program, a flagship government initiative aimed at fostering a thriving nation, a beautiful life. A progress review meeting for these projects was held recently at the Presidential Secretariat, chaired by Dr. Nandika Sanath Kumbanayaka, Secretary to the President. This initiative was implemented by various ministries and their respective departments, corporations, boards and institutions. One notable project discussed is a plan to operate 10 purpose-built buses for people with special needs from Panadura, Kadawada and Avisavalla to the National Hospital in Colombo. This initiative, a collaboration with the Sri Lanka Transport Board, marks the first time such a service will be implemented in the country. Additionally, there are plans to create a virtual city centered around Kandy, expected to be completed within a year. This pilot project will also encompass the Temple of the Sacred Tooth Relic premises and is estimated to cost 50 million rupees. Furthermore, there are plans to construct 500 standardized and modern public toilets in tourist areas with an allocated budget of 525 million rupees. A sustainable program is also underway to secure international blue flag certification for 2 of the country's main coastal zones within 2 years. 2 major beaches have been proposed for this, and over 450 beach custodians are to be appointed under this project, with 250 already receiving their letters of appointment. A nationwide wastewater disposal project is being implemented at a cost of 300 million rupees, aiming to maintain the cleanliness and upkeep of urban canals and waterways. Separately, a 100 million rupees program has commenced for the sustainable maintenance of the general canal system in Colombo. The Clean Sri Lanka Secretariat has launched a new initiative aimed at improving the attitudes, ethics and service standards of three-wheeler drivers operating within the tourism sector. An initial discussion regarding the implementation of the program was held yesterday at the Clean Sri Lanka Secretariat. It was revealed that the initiative will train 10,000 three-wheeler taxi drivers engaged in the tourism sector, covering all 9 provinces of the island within this year. The program, which aims to enhance the drivers' attitudes and ethical conduct, is estimated to cost 25 million rupees. 10 training sessions are scheduled to be conducted in each province as part of the island-wide initiative. The program aims to provide three-wheeler drivers with comprehensive knowledge of traffic regulations, promote a sense of responsibility and guide them on the appropriate steps to deliver quality transport services.
It has been revealed in the court today that confirmation has been received from a German laboratory report that bacteria and salt harmful to the human body contained in the substandard antibody vaccines. This revelation came when the Maligakanda Magistrates Court took up for hearing the case where former Minister of Health Kehelia Rambukwella and a group of officials of the Ministry of Health were suspects in importing substandard antibody vaccines to this country. The final hearing of the hemoglobin vaccine case was taken up today at the Maligakanda Magistrates Court, filed by civil organizations against former Minister Kehelia Rambukwella. Deputy Solicitor General Lakmini Girihagama, appearing for the Attorney General, presented in the court the final report of the investigations. She said that the report was presented to a 3-member bench of High Court judges. She added that the case is due to be taken up on the 16th of July in the High Court. Former Minister Kehelia Rambukwella, his wife and daughter, who were taken into custody for failing to fulfill bail conditions and released on bail under the Money Laundering Act, were released on bail today. 2 daughters and the son-in-law of former Minister Kehelia Rambukwella, who were taken into custody in the same investigations, were also ordered to be released on bail by the Colombo Magistrates Court today. They are Chamitri Janika Rambukwella, Amali Nanika Rambukwella and her husband Isuru Pulasti Bandara, who were taken into custody by the Bribery Commission. Steps were taken to imprison Chamithri Janika Rambukwella for failing to fulfill bail conditions. Officials appearing on behalf of the Bribery Commission told the court that these investigations were initiated based on the information of suspected bank accounts of the family members of the former minister by the Financial Intelligence Division of the Central Bank. Accordingly, the officials told the court that 16 fixed deposits and 5 life insurances deeds of the suspects have been banned as per an order of the High Court. They added that the value of the FDs and life insurance deeds were more than 97 million rupees. In addition, the official informed the court that a Mercedes-Benz vehicle which belonged to the suspect Isurpulasti Bandara has also been taken into custody. The officials of the Bribery Commission told the court that the suspects were taken into custody in the morning today on allegations of conspiring, aiding and abetting under the Prevention of Money Laundering Act, and after pointing out those allegations to them, the Colombo Chief Magistrate Tanuja Lakmali, after considering the facts presented by both sides, ordered the release of each suspect on a bail of 50,000 rupees each and 3 personal bails of 5 million rupees each. The order also mentioned that the sureties have to be close relatives of the suspects.
Media spokesman of Customs Sivali Arugoda says that the Customs will be able to surpass the income target of 2,115 billion rupees given to it in 2025. In a media briefing held today in Colombo, he said that an income of 450 million rupees is expected from the import of motor vehicles alone. Media spokesman of Customs Sivali Arugoda pointed out that the revenue target of last year was set at 1,533 billion rupees. They exceeded that target by generating a total revenue of 1,535 billion rupees. For this year, the revenue target has been set at 2,115 billion rupees. By mid-June, they have already collected around 900 million rupees in revenue. As of June 15th, they have reached the revenue target set for that period.
Prime Minister Dr. Harini Amarasuriya emphasizes the necessity of innovations in order to escape from the economic crisis and the medium income track. She made this observation joining the program Serendipity Knowledge held in Colombo today. The program was organized by the Asian Development Bank, titled Innovations for Economic Transformation. The aim of this program is to share knowledge to develop a long-term relationship amongst the government and international experts to strengthen national innovation and other parties.
How we produce, distribute and consume food. Food loss and waste are not only inefficiencies but reflect systemic challenges that undermine livelihoods, deplete resources and worsen food security across our region. Globally, 1/3 of all food produced is lost or wasted, amounting to 1.3 billion tons annually.
More local stories on the other side of this break.
Prima Stella. අපි හැමෝම කැමති.
Live from the National News Studio, Sri Lanka.
Welcome back. We continue with more stories here at home. According to local government election results, the National People's Power has been able to establish power in majority of the provincial councils. The NPP has been able to establish administrations in 151 institutions with a majority of councillors. The party has also been able to capture power in 34 provincial councils, where although they have won but were not able to win a majority of councillors. As of now, the NPP has been able to establish power in 186 institutions. They also secured the administration of the Dodanguda Pradeshya Sabha in Kalutara district today. The Dodankuda Pradeshya Sabha secured 12 councillor posts for the National People's Power. According to the election results of this year, Jana Minister was able to gain 5 councillor posts. The remaining councillor posts has been distributed among political parties and independent groups. Councillor Nilusha Kaviratna of National People's Power was elected chairman in a secret ballot held with the consensus of councillors obtaining 14 votes. Minister Dr. Nalinda Jayatissa said that in order to carry out rural development effectively, the powers of the local government authorities must move forward in tandem with the President's representation of the government. He noted that certain councillors have taken the correct stance by supporting the President's initiatives and the government's development programs without being influenced by party affiliations or whether they belong to the government or opposition. The Minister expressed gratitude to both members. Parliamentarian Jagat Vitana said that 2 representatives from Jayavira's party assured them that they would support the Samagi Jana Balavegaya until the very end by casting their votes in its favour. However, in reality, those individuals changed their decision. He added that in his view, Dilit Jayavira is not the true leader of that party. According to Vitana, the rightful leader is Roshan Ranasinghe. He further mentioned that Roshan Ranasinghe is currently overseas. The administrative power of the Yatiyantoda Pradeshya Sabha in Kagol district was also secured by the National People's Power. Tarinda Dhananjaya Devaguru has been elected as the new chairman, securing 14 votes in the secret ballot, and Chintaka Nirmal Jayamana has been elected as a vice chairman. Kathuwana Pradeshya Sabha, where a majority of seats were secured by the opposition. In Walasmulla, the National People's Power has established its administrative power. A secret ballot was conducted and Ananda Kulasundara, representing NPP, was elected as the new chairman and Ranjit Jayasekara became the vice chairman. In the voting held today to elect members to establish the Kantali Pradeshya Sabha, DM Sampath of National People's Power has been elected the chairman, securing 12 votes. The opposition was able to secure only 9. In the open voting held to elect councillors for the Haputale Municipal Council, Upul Disanayaka of an independent group was elected the new chairman with the assistance from Samagi Jana Balavegaya.
Minister Anand Vijaypala states that the persons who are connected to crimes, frauds and corruptions will be punished following proper investigations. He made these remarks joining the debate in Parliament today. Minister Anand Vijaypala urged that false statements should not be made and warned against using Parliament as a platform to lie in order to cover up personal wrongdoing. He pointed out that during the opposition's time in government, individuals who were not minor offenders but those convicted under serious charges, including murder and sentenced to life imprisonment or the death penalty, had been released. The minister added these releases were carried out without proper authorization and current investigations have been launched into those decisions.
We now move on to sports news. Sri Lankan batsman Pathum Nissanka was able to cross the 1,000 runs mark in his test career today on the 3rd day of the first test against Bangladesh.
And the match is being played at the Galle International Cricket Stadium. Sri Lanka. At the commencement of today's play, Bangladesh were 484 for the loss of 9 wickets in their first innings. Their first innings was limited to 95 runs, where 2 centuries were also recorded. In bowling, Asita Fernando captured 4 wickets and Milan Ratnayaka and Tharindra Ratnayaka shared 3 wickets each. Later, playing their first innings, Pathum Nissanka and Lahiru Udara opened the Sri Lanka innings and Lahiru Udara was out for 29 runs. Dinesh Chandimal and Pathum Nissanka added a valuable 157-run partnership for the second wicket. Chandimal today recorded the 33rd half-century in his test career before being out for 54 runs. Angelo Matthews joined next, playing in his final test match. Pathum Nissanka recorded the 3rd century in his test career today, and this has been also his first century against Bangladesh. The 89-run partnership between Angelo Matthews and Pathum Nissanka for the 3rd wicket was broken when Angelo Matthews was out for 39 runs. Sri Lanka lost their 4th wicket when Pathum Nissanka was out for a captivating 187 runs. This has been the highest score in his test career. At the end of today's play, Sri Lanka were 368 runs for the loss of 4 wickets. Kamidu Mendis was unbeaten on 37 and Dhananjaya De Silva was 17 not out. And with that, we say goodbye for tonight. Join us same time, same place tomorrow as well. Saying goodbye, it's me, Sanal and Sharifa. Have a good night.
Good night.